Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Central Texas Life. I'm Ann Harder, and as we speak, we are really just days away from Halloween 2022. And there are a lot of things that sort of went on hiatus because of COVID, and one of them is a haunted house. And Jen, folks love haunted houses.
Yes, they do.
Jen Tobin is with Sunshine Recovery House, and you've got Scared Sober?
Yes, ma'am, we do. We actually had it during 2020. 2019 and 2020 were the 2 years that we had it, and then we moved into the house right after Halloween of 2020. So we didn't have a location, and my scare crew went out of town on vacation for their birthday, whatever. So we put it on hiatus and put it on hold, and then this year it was like, I really want to do this again. We made some really good money, and it was a lot of fun. So I contacted my scare chief, and then just started calling places to find a location because we couldn't do it in our house.
Right.
Yeah. So
because folks live there.
Folks live there, yeah. And it was a cool place to have it. As soon as I saw the house, I was like, this would be a really cool place to have a haunted house.
Yeah.
And that's why we did it there the first 2 years. But yeah, folks live there now. So I eventually a light bulb went off in my head, and I contacted Corey at the Waco Escape Rooms, and he said, yeah, I've got a couple locations. Let's check it out. So,
well, this is exciting because this is the first time for the Scared Sober House. And so where is this location? How easy is it to find?
it's pretty easy. If you go down Waco Drive and cross the river into East Waco, it's off of Dallas Street. It's at 412 McKean. A long time ago, way before my time in Waco, it was a Waco farmers market.
Oh, really?
Okay. It says it's painted on a mural on the walls. Yeah.
Well, of course, an old part of Waco,
Yes.
which could mean there are spirits and haunts and all kinds of things.
Yes. It's kind of a creepy place when you drive by it. There are a couple churches on the corner, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
We won't be disturbing any neighbors.
We've got a balance.
We have a good balance.
A
Yes.
good balance. Well, let's talk about. First, let's talk about you, Jen. Tell me about you and how you got involved with Sunshine Recovery House.
So, one of my very best friends contacted me a few years ago and said, hey, I want to start this, and will you be on the board with me? And I was like, I don't know how to be on a board, but okay, let's do this. So we got together with a couple other people and formed a board and I was voted as secretary, and we formed the nonprofit and moved some ladies into a small house in the middle of Waco. We had a huge fundraiser in 2019, and had a matching grant. We're able to buy a bigger house in uptown Waco, and then grand renovations were in place. 2020 happened, the world.
Right.
Yeah. The renovations came to a screeching halt, and the house sat empty. And then leadership changes. Our executive director stepped down, and we were in limbo for a couple months, but decided that fall of 2020 to go ahead and do what we needed to do in the house to get it ready to move in and scrap the big expensive renovation plans and just stay under construction and move the ladies in over from the house we were renting because we owned that house. So we were renting at the other house. So it just didn't make financial sense to keep renting. So that's what we did. We moved our house manager and her family in and the 5 ladies over from the other house, and got busy on the downstairs. We got the upstairs ready for them, and then we got the downstairs ready, and now we have 11 women. Yeah.
There is such a need. In reading your website, and by the way, your website for Sunshine Recovery House is very, very good, very
Thank
well
you.
put together. But a fact that I read was that there are 60 beds in 5 facilities for men who are in recovery from addictions of any number of kinds, and yet there are only 2 for women.
Mm-hmm.
So how many total beds for women who are in recovery?
There's our house for 11 beds, and I believe the Oxford house has 5. That's another organization. So,
Well, I mean, it's almost as if women are the stronger sex, and so they're not affected by these things like men are. I mean, that's just not true.
It's not true, but women will go to treatment and then they'll go back home because they have to take care
They
of
have
their
to
children.
take care of kids.
They have to take care of their children, their pets, their parents. But when they go back home, they're going right back into the environment that they used in.
Of course.
So with all
Yeah.
the stressors.
with all the triggers that
all the
cause them
triggers.
to use or whatever.
So we have had several of our residents over the last 2 years go from our house straight into Compassion's and get their kids back.
Exactly.
And are still walking in sobriety. So that's really, really cool.
Well, yeah, that's got to be gratifying to you, and to realize that it is true statistically. This has been discovered that people who go into a transitional housing situation are more likely to still be sober in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So we hold our residents accountable. They go into 90 meetings in 90 days. So, and they need to get a job within a couple weeks, and they have a curfew, and then we have a mandatory house meeting on Monday nights that they come to, and they have to get a sponsor and walk the steps of AA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not anything really different than most transitional housing situations that you hear about. By providing that counseling and that support with other women who are walking that same path. And I think that's what's probably one of the biggest things, is that someone who's suffering from addiction, alcoholism, whatever it is, they probably at a certain point, I'm by myself in this thing, and they're really not.
They're really not. And it's hard to trust other women once you've been hurt and once you've walked
Right.
that path. So it's building friendships and that building the trust back. So it's
Yes,
key.
and of course you provide that, and also Sunshine Recovery House has been instrumental in providing some of that employment. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Right. So in 2019, we opened Unshakable Milkshakes in
Yeah.
Union Hall.
I remember. When that
Yeah,
happened,
it was great. And we were one of the first and only dessert places in there, so we did really well that first year. And was able to keep it open through COVID, and kept our heads above water. And then and we're still doing that. We're still treading water and trying to build business, but it's fun. And we do employ women in recovery, and we try to give jobs to women in the house, but most of the time they end up working at other places in Union Hall, which is great.
which is
So,
fine. Yeah. Transportation and all that's kind of, you can make arrangements for
We
that.
make arrangements for that. We buy bus passes and give them bus passes, or when we can, we give them rides. My house manager and I provide rides when we can. She's also the operations manager at Unshakable, so she's the house manager. She wears 2 hats and a mom. She wears several hats like I do.
Yeah.
But so she gives rides when she can, and sometimes they'll text me and say, "Where are you?" And if I'm available, I can swing by and pick them up and take them home. So
yeah.
yeah.
Everybody's helping everybody else and kind of involved in their lives.
yes,
And I think that's probably such an important encouragement
yes,
to someone who is struggling to stay sober and not fall back into those patterns and those ways that led them to a dark place.
Frozen, heroes. Gonna tell you about frozen heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Hey, I'm Zach,
And I'm Mike.
and we have a fantastic new podcast to tell you about. Bros, Foes, and Heroes. It's the two of us looking into the world of comics, breaking down some characters that you may have never heard of, and some that are just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so Zach comes up with a character each time, and I go into it just completely blind. I don't know who this person is or what their abilities are or anything, and basically I guess we kind of go over their origin story and just some of the ridiculous stuff that maybe, especially Golden Age stuff.
Oh, Golden Age stuff is always the best, and we will make sure to highlight all of the shenanigans and just absolute weirdness of everything.
Yeah, that's right. So subscribe today and follow us on Instagram at Bros Foes Heroes.
And if you don't, I know where you live. Not really, but please subscribe.
Bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about bros and foes and heroes. Gonna tell you about.
Welcome to One Star Rewind, a new podcast about those dreaded one-star reviews that every business owner hates to receive, but yet every customer loves to read. During this podcast, we will peel back that one-star review to better understand how it happened, when it happened, and what the business owner is doing after receiving that one-star review. This podcast will be about love, hate, and laughter. On One Star Rewind, we will meet with real business owners who will tell their stories and how they do rely on reviews for their business. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or download us at roguemedianetwork.com. Please subscribe, but only rate and review for not a one-star review. Join us each time for a new review and a new story.
Hi, this is Sarah,
And I'm Carter.
and this is Some of Our Thoughts.
We're two Southern sommeliers, and we want to share everything we love and know about wine. We started hanging out during quarantine and cooking and drinking and listening to music, and we just thought this would be a great way to bring everything we know to you guys.
We will make wine knowledge and food pairings easy and approachable. So put on your favorite vinyl, grab your favorite glass of wine, tune into our show, and let's have some fun.
Wine and vinyl. So check us out on roguemedianetwork.com or wherever you get your favorite podcast. We'll be talking about a lot.
So let's talk a little bit more about the haunted house. So what kind of things will folks be doing there? I mean, I know Waco escape rooms is, of course, loads of fun.
Yes.
But it's kind of a different thing where you're doing problem solving and all that kind of thing. This is strictly something jumping out at you.
Yes. So walking in addiction is walking in darkness.
Yeah.
So and then you deal with a lot of anxiety and phobias. You may have had those, like fears of snakes or clowns
Yeah,
or
height or
spiders
whatever,
or
yeah.
heights or whatever. We're not gonna make anybody climb any ladders.
No.
But the first room is like a maze of darkness, and there's gonna be phobias in there, and of course people jumping out at you. Then the second room, and you create this web of lies around you when you're walking in addiction.
Yeah.
When you're drinking, it's like, oh, it's not my fault. So the second room, webs, lies, spider webs. That's also kind of a phobia for some people, spider webs.
Sure, yeah.
But so it's going to be all creepy crawly spiders. And then what's next? We haven't got to more darkness, more maze walking through, and and then there'll be some treats at the end. So.
Well, as long as there's a treat at the end.
Yeah.
That's good. Well, so often, for someone before they seek treatment or, seek that change, they have to hit bottom.
You do. And some people hit rock bottom several times and then bounce back up. But there is a bottom, and it's dark and deep and yeah.
Yeah. So you're not making fun of this.
No,
by any stretch, because
we're not.
so many folks have walked this path and understand that. But it's the kind of thing that if it helps support your your house, good. The more folks we can encourage to come, the better. So this is going to be for several days, right? This
Yes,
is starting when?
Starting next Thursday, a week from today. We're going to go Thursday through Monday through Halloween Day.
Yeah.
And 6:30 to 10.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So the evening hours. You don't have to make reservations or anything. It's just
No,
sort of
just show up.
Just show up, and there's not a ticket price, right?
There's not a ticket price. We tried that the first year and we felt like that kind of blocked people. So the second year we just said donations only. $10 suggested donation.
Right.
But if you want to give us more, that's great. We'll have QR codes there to so you can donate more if you'd like to. So if you don't have that much cash on you.
Well, I know for a lot of people that want to help to find an agency that truly is boots on the ground and helping women change their lives for the better. Nothing better than Sunshine Recovery House. And so do you look for volunteers? I know you have a place on your website for donations.
Yes, we would love some volunteers to come help us scare and come help us set up this weekend. That'd be great.
That'd be great.
We would love if anybody wanted to volunteer time, like for giving a budgeting class or art therapy, come and color with the ladies on a Monday night.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We're always asking for volunteers to provide family dinner, which is our first Monday meeting of the month, where community members come in and meet the ladies and provide a meal for them, and we allow the ladies to invite their significant others or their children, parents.
Kind of a family type.
It is a family.
thing.
It's family dinner. So, and it's
that's
fun.
neat.
So, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's neat. And I also saw that you were in the process of refurbishing 70 windows. Did I read that right?
You read that right.
There are a lot of windows in this
There's a
house.
lot of windows in this house. It is 100-year-old, over 100 years old, and the windows are huge. I'm terrible with height, but they're about 8 feet windows.
Really?
And very thin. We had one fall out last winter, so it's boarded up right now. And the wood is rotted around them, so it's a significant undertaking. It's about $64,000 was our quote for fixing them.
Oh
up.
my goodness. Yeah. So you have a GoFundMe, I think, on
We
your
do have a GoFundMe,
page.
and every penny we make from Scared Sober is going to go back into the windows. in
to the
house.
windows. Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
winter's coming.
Winter is coming. We need electricity. We need new wiring, and we need plumbing, and we started a third bathroom downstairs because 6 women,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 7 women and 2 baths is kind of cramped. So we started on renovating a third bathroom, but we kind of scrapped that and focused on what we needed to. Like one room needed electricity and the foundation needed to be redone. So we just did that this summer.
Yeah, basic needs, especially when you have an antique house.
Yes.
But such an important thing for the women involved. What is the average length of time that a woman stays there at Sunshine Recovery House?
We have a couple that have been there over a year, and then we've had them bounce after 1 day.
Yeah.
So average is about 6 months. So
Yeah, enough to
We're
kind of break some patterns.
yes, we're transitional, so we don't expect them to stay forever.
Right.
There are a few who may stay with us forever, but maybe not. We just want them to fly when they're ready to. We're not going to kick them out of the nest. And we want them to fly and soar and be free.
Yeah. Well, it is such a wonderful thing, though, to provide that second chance, or maybe for some third or fourth or fifth. I mean, the options are not great when you're dealing with addiction,
Right.
incarceration, death, or sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
And so providing that way for women to endeavor to meet that goal,
Yes.
it's got to be rewarding to
It's
you.
very rewarding. I have a full-time paying job. That's my occupation.
Mhm.
This is truly my vocation.
Yeah. So What do you do for a living?
I work at MCC.
Uh-huh.
I run the tutoring program there.
Oh, good.
And I love that job. I was a student who needed tutoring, and very badly. And then I got my GPA up enough to be a tutor.
Uh-huh.
And then I got my bachelor's degree, and I didn't get a teaching job, so I got a job there. I was like, God, I really don't want to be a teacher, but if I could teach here, or if I could work here, that'd be great. So I got a job at MCC, and now I run the tutoring program. So I've come full circle. So I love it. I love my job. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm able to take vacation days and come talk to you about
Right,
sunshine.
right.
And it's a great job, and I love it. And I love my vocation. I never thought I'd be in charge or conducting all the chaos that goes on around me at Sunshine Recovery House, but here I am. So, yeah.
Well, and my hat's off to you for giving back in such a significant way.
Yeah.
For women who need it so badly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Addiction touches every sphere of everyone's life these days. They start off, they're someone's daughter, they're someone's niece, they're someone's sister, and mother, wife, girlfriend, so, and they're women, and they just need a second chance, or a third, or a fourth.
Right.
We take each case by case. We have a girl who moved in with us originally 2 years ago, who went back out, and now she came back.
But she knew to come back.
She knew to come back. Yep. So she left with good graces, and she left sober.
Right.
And then she just went back into the cycle of addiction and hit her bottom.
Yeah.
And now she's back, and she just had 90 days. So
Good. Well, those coping skills are in place.
yes.
That, if there's a falling off, that at least they know where they can come back. And that, so how many women can you take? Are you at your maximum capacity?
We were at 11, and
Really?
that's full. We had started off thinking, we could cram 3 beds into each room downstairs. That would make 9, 10, 11, 13. But even though they come in with just a backpack, all of a sudden their
Lots of
possessions.
stuff.
Yeah, women collect things.
Yeah, they do.
I'm guilty. I'm a woman. I know. But the first girl who moved into the first room downstairs, all of a sudden she came in with a backpack, and then all of a sudden she had both the empty beds full, the closet was full, both dressers were full. I was like, well, wait a minute.
How did this happen?
How did this happen? And maybe we need to just have 2 beds downstairs. So we do have one room downstairs that has 3. It's a little bit bigger room, and it has a huge closet. And they get along great in there. And then there's 2 beds in the other room. So we're at capacity with 11 right now, and we have a waiting list. So even though we don't want to kick anybody out of the nest, and we certainly don't want them to relapse.
No.
We do have a waiting list. There is a need for other houses. So yeah.
Well, it's a great work. And when was it established again?
We started this board in 2017.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So a few years
Yes.
under your belt. Well, it's great. And again, you've got this wonderful fundraiser coming up.
Yes.
It's going to be the 27th through the 31st.
Yes, ma'am.
At, again, the location.
412 McKean Street
McKean.
off of Dallas.
Okay, but you can go to Sunshine Recovery House, either your Facebook page, which is great as well, and your website, and all the information is there
Yes, ma'am.
for that. Excellent. Well, I like to end these little visits with a questionnaire. It's similar to the one the late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actor Studio. So this is my take on it. What is your favorite word, Jen?
Grace.
Yeah, it brings some emotion.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're the
Without
recipient
grace,
of it.
Without
yeah.
grace and without love, without grace, there's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. We receive it and we give it.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's your least favorite word?
Try. Because I can try all day to pick that hat up, but if I don't take the action to actually pick it up, it's not going to happen. Yeah. So, I tried. I'll try to do that. That
Yeah,
usually
I'll
means
try
you're-
to stop drinking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Oh, goodness. Halloween. Right now. Right now it's Halloween. No. It just depends on the season, I think. Halloween right now, that's turning me on. I love it. Is such a thrill to scare people and to create these spaces in this empty warehouse.
Yeah, your creativity
yes
is really flowing at this point. Well, what turns you off creatively or spiritually or emotionally?
alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What sound do you love the most?
Children laughing,
Yeah.
especially my daughter.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. What's your least favorite sound?
Screeching brakes and sirens.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before
Yes.
from guests. No, you tell me what you do professionally, but what other profession would you like to try
Oh,
or to have tried?
I would love to fly a hot air balloon.
Really?
Yes, I go to Longview and volunteer at the Great Texas Balloon Race every year, and I've had the opportunity to fly, but I would love to be a pilot one day.
It is a neat sensation. I've been on one hot air balloon ride, and it's really peaceful. Even you've got the loud, of the gas or whatever it is, but
The gas, yeah.
but it really is. So it's a stillness. It's kind of unusual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cool. I've never heard that before. Well, what job do you know you would not want to have?
A public school teacher. God bless them.
We're back to the teaching thing.
Yes. Whew,
Yeah, really. My hat's off to
Mm-hmm.
those individuals. Absolutely. Well, finally, Jen, what do you want to hear God say to you when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Well done. Welcome home.
Well, you are doing it well right now. Thank you so much.
Only
Jen,
with His grace.
absolutely. With
Yes,
that
ma'am.
grace you mentioned, Jen Tobin with Sunshine Recovery House. And again, the Haunted House Scared Sober
Yes, ma'am.
is going to be the 27th through the 31st.
Yes. 6:30 to 10:30, 412 McKean. Straight down Waco Drive, cross the river, second red light is Dallas Street. Hang a right, 3 blocks down,
Okay, just off of Dallas Street.
just off of Dallas Street.
Very good. Jen,
That's the
thank-
easiest way to get there.
Good.
Yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much
Thank
for
you.
being with us. And thank you for being with us. And we'll see you again next time
Yes.
on Central Texas Life. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.